Hey everybody, welcome to BombSquad. I'm Dan Stacy, and you are about to witness my nerdy family and I use silly voices and exploded dice to tell a good story as we continue in Arc 5, and I turn the music down, of BombSquad, the final arc, where you're nearing the end. Let's see.
Nothing bad is about to happen.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Ominous music.
Fine.
Flowers and butterflies. Flowers and butterflies.
That will be at the future.
The music tells me that the tone armor our characters have been, enjoying all this time may be questionable.
Questionable is fair.
Okay.
Questionable is fair. You never know what's going to happen. We'll make it funny anyway.
You know Brick's just going to wake up at the end of all this.
Don't say that. I can't.
And you're all sitting
This was
around.
terrible.
And you were there, and you were there.
Little half babies run in.
Some of them have mouths.
Wait a minute.
No.
If Brick and B had a baby, is it like this half doesn't have a face and
No.
this half does have a
No,
face?
Katie asked
Where-
that, and we do have canon on how it
Yeah.
works.
Ooh.
It does work?
It works.
Locals and Patreon. Hey.
Locals and Patreon, we'll discuss it later.
I'm creeped out. What color is she? Is she green? Is she blue?
Look at this xenophobic over
Yeah.
here. How dare you?
Oh, that could go really wrong. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Unbelievable. It's just tentacles and no mouth.
Alien.
What's wrong with blue skin aliens?
It's episode 1, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick announcements, of course, check out AfterQuest on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, although we'll probably be, when this comes out, we'll be coming close to the end of Nobles, if not past it, so we'll be on a little hiatus, because some people have to have babies in the AfterQuest game, and, adjacent to AfterQuest, so we'll be doing some fun stuff during the hiatus time, and then we'll be coming to the end of our 1-year collaboration with the Interplanar Crossroads on monthly games. So February will be our last game. That'll be High Fantasy, Fantastical February. And then Adam will be continuing Around the Hearth theme collaborations, and we'll be doing brainstorms based on those. So
And
check
we're
out
never
our
going to
shrines.
talk to Adam again.
Yeah.
It's over
Just-
after February.
It's not over, Adam. Don't listen. It's so good. I don't think as a recording this, he's seen the other time you did that yet. I don't think it's up yet. Anyways, let's see.
RPG MRE.
Ha! Oh, do you have it ready?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
We have it.
Oh.
Sorry, I just assumed you never have it with you.
I'm trying to offer.
Wow. I didn't realize that was the
David,
RPG.
oh, I'm
sorry.
You
I
should
guess I
have
didn't
told
really
us
say
that.
it. You're right.
Throw me
I
a chip.
All
David-
right. All right.
Everyone just said no to his chips.
All right.
I have them.
Well, it's
That's actually true. I didn't realize it.
It's a black bean chip.
I know.
I didn't normally like them, but I was low on protein today. So.
I don't know what I mean.
Legend point. We're leaving it in there.
Give me a minute to think about it. Something
I don't
has to happen.
know what to do with this.
When I'm low on protein, even though these are chips and I want something salty, I get an extra 5 grams of protein. Also, I have my
That's embarrassing.
I would have shared this with you all, but it's gone. So, and it's my stress reliever. It's my ashwagandha.
You can't say that word.
Ashwagandha.
A stupid
Is that his Arwen voice too?
Yeah.
It
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, that's
All right. Thank you. That was great.
That's awesome.
Oh man, I don't know what to do with the chip. That was. PimPam's gonna have something. I don't know.
Her thing is now chips.
Like I want to make a chip an item now or something. So she can
Just
use that.
finds it in the bag, in the backpack.
I have time to. I'll think about it as we get to the challenge
there
event
this whole
today.
There is. It's a random chip that's been there the whole time. In the bag.
All right, then. I was gonna do something darker, but now we've done all this. Let's dive into the chippiest episode of BombSquad.
Ashwagandha.
We dive back in. Very
Did anyone
nice.
get a whiff?
That
Just
was-
want you to know.
Oh, the reeks are attacking?
No.
Oh.
Smell delicious.
Oh. Wow.
Weekly shower.
Don't take. Yes,
Wow.
my weekly shower was.
Thank
no,
you.
I
It's
had
very
two. I was. it was
We already
abundant.
dove back in.
Extender.
splurging. Oh yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately, they were both in the same day.
We already dove back in. I'm sorry.
Dude, it's still going. Got a little taste of bonus content. That's what they pay for.
All right, I'll go back to the.
All right. So, let's see here. We are going to begin with a little
not lighthearted.
pre-written intro, getting us back in. We're kind of jumping back just a little in time to when all of you guys have come back. You've gone into the White Dragon, found that last piece of his heart, the all-consuming flame, what is left, the all-consuming flame that is almost consumed, and you've taken it out. Quinn has it with him now. He used it to activate his narrative deific item, becoming both the dragon, and he and Archelon together, becoming both the dragon and the Prince of the Woods, helping to fight. Iliad joined with the Falcon, who has now been reborn as the Phoenix, sacrificing himself to protect not only you all, but also the heart of the world, the heart of Daitos. And a battle ensued with the White Dragon. Ulkan fell, being torn in twain, ripped apart. Marosha has lost her left arm, and Idalia is burned, scars across part of her face.
I didn't know that one.
I don't know that one either.
What is happening? But
David, a month ago.
Oh no!
there is a lull in the battle as... It's fine. It's all good. I love
I'm
you
waiting
so
for the
much.
next short to come out.
Yeah, get this ready.
be the
I
longest
should find that
montage.
one. Okay, so what we are going to do is actually kind of step outside of the world, and I'm going to read something for you all to get us back in the zone. We'll play the reveal again as well, and this has got a little Easter egg in it.
I'm sorry.
Oh. You're in. Sorry. Okay, carry on.
My mind was
So,
in the place.
this is an excerpt from The Sundering, a saga in his song and dance, The Scriptures of 𝒂𝒏𝒎𝒄𝒂, penned by Matthias Delgado, the witness of 𝒂𝒏𝒎𝒄𝒂. The headless form of the White Dragon is crumpled on the field of battle before the beating heart of Daitos. Bound and undignified, his lifeless head lay cast at his forefeet, with blood slowly pouring down his lips. As the mighty gods begin to fall back in an unspoken truce, to return each to their own stronghold and begin the war anew, a rushing wind of immense power pulls at all toward the lifeless form of the White Dragon. The crumpled body bubbles and cracks, as if being both boiled and crushed. Large, writhing appendages force their way out of the dragon's flesh on all sides, and his form balloons, stretching the bonds to their limit. The imprints of feet, hands, and faces seem to be pressing against all sides of this bubbling mass, as if 1,000 forms were trapped within. Disembodied voices then speak, calling for death, pleading for home, declaring the infinite and unknowable. A cacophony of souls calling out from a deep darkness builds to a deafening roar, then sudden, utter silence. The severed head then speaks in a deep, unnatural voice, as its eyes, still lifeless, glow with an eerie green hue, and noxious fumes pour from its nostrils and mouth. I can hear you.
Is someone there? Is anyone there? Can you kill me? Will you kill me, please?
I want to go home.
I know someone's there.
I'd like to die now.
Where am I?
You need to kill me.
Can I die now?
I just want to go home.
Is anyone there?
I don't want to be here anymore.
Will you kill me?
You don't have to hide.
I want to die!
Please kill me.
Can you help me?
Who's there?
Can someone help me?
Kill me.
Where are we?
You have
Can someone help me?
Kill me now.
I need to
Please
die.
kill me.
I'd like to die now.
I want you to kill me.
He's forever.
The head of the dragon is then lifted up, its flesh falling off to leave only a skull. It is lifted upon what could be called the head of this monstrosity, a vaguest form of face, on the end of a massive appendage, now wearing the dragon's skull as a crown, and he repeats, "I am here." Many of the gods witnessing fall prostrate where they are. Some immediately flee at those words, screaming in terror. Idalia falls to her knees with a wailing scream and weeps. Marosha grabs the wound where her left arm once was and glares in silent fear as tears also slowly fall. The clockmaker alone stands unmoved, a small bright light under the shadow of pure horror. The newly born phoenix with a mighty cry encircles the horror, and so does his glory, Mukmahara, lord of sand and sea, encircling the grotesque form in fire and water. Destroyer! The white eye spits quietly through gritted teeth. So I am not yet forgotten. The monster speaks, and straining against its bonds, two dripping, bubbling appendages pick up the body of Wukong torn in twain and consumes him whole. Yet no. The destroyer was but a test of who I am. A trial of my own making, to prove unto myself the truth of my being. The clockmaker begins etching runes into the dirt as he speaks. Who, pray, are you then? Creaking and groaning from the bonds fills the silence as the monster raises up even higher, looming over the clockmaker's small form. I am all things, and unto me all things shall return. For I was there before the beginning, before the song. I alone in the end shall persist. For I am the completion of all. I am the infinite and eternal. Of all things, I am the origin. The skull-crowned appendage then rushes out toward the clockmaker and the twin flowers. Clockmaker unleashes a mighty spell of warding as those few left to guard the First Father's heart rise up even in their wounded state and face off against this unmitigated terror. And you guys, witnessing all of this, make your way to the heart of 𝒂𝒐𝒆𝒄𝒂 and jump. As they enter into this combat over the First Father's heart. Passing through the heart of 𝒂𝒐𝒆𝒄𝒂, it's reminiscent of when you guys had teleported through the Dwarven those dwarven circle teleportation rings. And you hear, for a moment, it's like you don't feel your body anymore, and you just hear. I think maybe let's start with PimPam, if you would, describing that search for home as you're making this jump through the heart of the world. What's going through her mind as she's starting to imagine home?
Where's mom and dad?
Okay. Let's see. I think actually then it's almost overwhelming. You get that sense of feeling when you try to imagine yourself into one of Brick's memories, and that stretching and reaching, you feel yourself getting pulled that way. And you almost feel as if you got pulled too far, you would just separate. It's almost that idea of when you were running alongside the border and feeling that pull to just nothingness. And so you focus in on family, you focus in on home. You actually first see, and what I had mentioned too for behind the scenes was that you guys all kind of see these things. Any private moments are private to each of you guys that we'll go through, but everyone is seeing the general scenes of this as you're basically hopping not only across the world, but time as well. It's almost unclear when these things are happening. You see Riker and the Defiant Riot battling a sea monster, smashing into it. Riker is 10 times the size as normal, and he's fighting alongside the Defiant Riot and supporting them from a brigantine is what you can clearly tell is the red shell pirates that you guys had interacted with way back in the second arc. But they are flying the flag of 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒄𝒂 with the crossed swords on their ship currently. And you also spot with them in this, you're kind of getting this almost bird's eye view of this battle, and you're able to see and almost zoom in and look at things. You see Sergeant Audrey, and Tamarin with her on the ship with the red shell pirates, all manning the cannons and the ballista on this and trying to help, as Riker and the Defiant Riot are out in the waters doing their heroics as they do.
Wrestling a sea monster.
Yes, wrestling a sea monster. But as you realize that in thinking of mom and dad, you're getting closer, and they are also headed that way. And so you pass on, moving past that through fog and darkness, as if they are outside of this area that is just darkened, and you pass into those clouds, seeking mom and dad. The first thing you see is a female Bohan that almost reminds you of Minnehaha, but she's older and larger, and she is casting out all-mother style magic. Vines and flowers and animals are attacking, and she is fighting against this clearly undead male Bohan with massive horns, and there are hordes behind him, and an arrow whistles by her, and you see 𝒌𝒐𝒏𝒄𝒂 get struck, reminiscent of Tiri's vision. And Tiri is, but instead, right there with her and picks him up. He's wounded, and they keep fighting, and they're charging in. Where do you want to have your home moment?
Home for PimPam is her people. It's not a location. While she has, some connections with family at like the Taylor house, she's not grown up there. There is an essence where Avisen is kind of home, in that she was there by herself for a year trying to like figure out who she is. But as far as where home for PimPam is, she's already got it because she's with her people. Home moments would just be checking in and seeing that no one else is getting stretched or flung too far as she's porting through.
Okay.
So I think the sense of like getting home being home is actually just holding the group together while we're flying through this.
Nice.
She wants to check and know that her people are safe, that mom and dad are fighting gloriously, that Tam's actually out there on an adventure and things like that. But for the grounded place of what are we fighting for? What are we trying to save? Who are we trying to keep together? And where is that? It's right here. So she's going to be keeping, you know, an arm on Brick and sweeping around Aurora and, you know, grabbing Quinn and Iliad and making sure that they're not ever fleeing too far through whatever this passage might be or lead. And if they're separated, she needs to make note of where that is so that they can be retrieved, supported, whatever. I think that for her is the definition of home.
Awesome. I love that. That's a great start. So then we'll move first to Iliad and your home moment. What does that look like?
Is it, and just to have clarification for Iliad, are these scenes that are flashing? Does he physically feel like he's there?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
You can. I mean, whatever you think. I think for yours, what you had talked about, yes.
It would feel like it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Iliad immediately is all of a sudden walking through these grassy knolls, you know, kind of picturesque of like Ireland or something, you know, grassy knolls, and then there's a lake with gentle splashing. And as he's walking, he doesn't feel alone, although he looks around and doesn't see anyone. But after walking a little further, kind of turns, but then all of a sudden realizes that Zoya. Zoya is with him, his friend, his like childhood friend. And it's almost...
Who I'll throw out for everyone is the orc that showed up with all the orphans at the orphanage that Aurora started.
And so it's almost like a slow motion feeling, you know? It's like, it's not, but that's just what it feels like in the moment. But it just is surrounded by like laughter and smiling. And then he kind of turns to his right, and there's his mom. And he looks down, and she's holding his hand, and they're kind of walking hand in hand. And he feels like he's lived this before. Like it's more so almost like a memory. And it's almost as if all of the dark stuff that he's been experiencing has kind of, it's not yet. And as they're walking along the shore, you can hear, you know, the sounds of the flute in the background, kind of triggering more memories. But he kind of looks up over the lake as he's talking with his mom, because his mom kind of turns and looks at him, and they're, again, it's like that slow motion feel, smiles, and he's staring at her eyes, knowing he's had this conversation with her before, knowing he's lived this moment before, but he doesn't quite grasp how or when or why. But all of a sudden looks and realizes that all along the falcon has been sort of soaring over them and has been there, and it just strikes this chord with him, and all of a sudden triggers all these memories of moments in his life where he realized there was a falcon there. You know, the falcon was there, the falcon was here, and he didn't know it in that moment. So
Beautiful. That's awesome. I like, yeah.
Is that kind of his moment wrapped up?
Yep.
So then with that, then PimPam's gonna like reach out with that arm and just kind of give you this look of this like, are you ready?
And he's just gonna gently shake his head.
All right, and then she's gonna like clasp his arm and then pull him back into the group.
Nice. I love that. I also love that you find Iliad first because he has Kari's love. So, looking for family. Which will throw in a little bouncing as people are bouncing around and we're seeing all these things continuing with it. You see Cirque de Telehay all packed up, traveling with Peter and Ulysses in the front. And they are arriving at Prodi looking to meet with Lady Greenwood. And so you get this great kind of swooping shot, seeing the whole circus all packed up and traveling. Peter and Ulysses and Tats and all the rest, together up front there, coming up over just where you guys had arrived when you first came to Proddy, looking over there. And you just know in your heart that they're headed for Lady Greenwood to connect with her.
Nice.
Is Proddy in distress?
Yeah, let's see. Yes. It's dark. Everything is dark. It's almost like the circus is traveling in light and heading toward the darkness, but there's this one ray on the Greenwood estate. And yeah, things are heavy, and there's unrest, and that there's always at the edge that pull towards the nothing that you can feel, and you feel like there's a strong center there of pull towards the nothing. So that brings us over to Aurora. But first, before we go to Aurora, as she's bouncing around, and again, you guys will all kind of see this, is you get a glimpse of Sergeant Oren, the bald sergeant from Drew's that Ingrid danced with. He looks tired and worn and is covered in dirt and ash, and he is helping the locals, the last few who remain, packing their things, and wagons, mules, everything being loaded up to leave the ash-covered port town for good. And you can tell, even from remembering your travels, that the land around there is bleak and turning to dust, and nothing is growing. Everything is just very dead.
Is it possible to know where they're going?
They're headed further in toward the capital, Dynalthir, which Dynalthir is the capital of the Kingdom of Dynalthir.
Right.
But that's where it
north
seems.
Proddy.
Yes, that is north of Proddy. Yep. But they are definitely heading inland away from the ash and destruction.
Okay.
I'm just going to check if there's any others we should hit. Oh, yes. This will connect back, going back. Tatiana and Miri Marie are working together in the shell greenhouses at the Greenwood Estate on the whale's fin and attempting to craft a cure for the blight that is now affecting people from what has been successful with the plants. But you can see on their faces that they are not having success. And there's a moment where Miri has that look where she's stumped. And it's as if she's hit a wall that she can't see past. And then, yes.
Can I slip her the piece of the pot?
Of which pot?
The one that PimPam said couldn't be fixed because she's stumped and perhaps missing a piece of a puzzle.
Yes, yeah.
And PimPam wants to encourage her with that.
That's awesome. I love that. A shadowy PimPam. Beautiful. We'll leave that and see what happens. As that happens and PimPam is reaching for Aurora, where's Aurora right now?
Well, Aurora is exhausted and almost dead. So she's just in this sad, dazed-like state, and going back to that feeling, she's tucking her head in between her legs, and she's sitting on a well-worn hay wagon with rain pouring down, and just this feeling of just utter lost, and after a while like that, she looks up with acceptance and a resolve, and then you can hear a fire start crackling, and a little potbelly stove appears on the well-worn hay wagon, and she starts to smile, and then all of a sudden everything starts changing on the wagon, and it turns into this beautiful, ornate wagon that just fantastical looking. And it reminded her, which is really funny, she saw these wagons at the circus when her parents brought her in Prati. And so she created this wagon like that. And it's bright red with golden yellows, royal blue, and light blue and sage green accents. And she smiles and sits down in her chair in there. And this lizard comes flying, smacking into the ground, into the wagon. And she picks him up and sets him next to her. And then the light starts shining from the doors to outside. So she opens up the doors, and then it ends up into the kitchen, going through the back doors into the kitchen at Prati. And in there is Tom and Gwen bustling and bickering and, you know, getting stuff done. And then she sees her grandmother there, and her grandmother's sitting facing away from her. And when she turns around, she looks stern and angry, and slowly the expression changes into a smile, and a recognition and a love that's there. And then these children run through, you know, knocking into Tom, and Gwen's like, oh, you know, trying to get stuff done. So, and then she goes outside or kind of appears at her parents' grave. And there are moonflowers that have grown all over them. And down on the ground in front of their tombstones is a moonflower with a drip of red blood that falls down. And as she goes down to touch that petal and look over at it, the moonflowers begin to open. And each one is all the members of the party, you know, coming out of these flowers, and including Arkiro and Thierry and you know, all the people that have been part of the group. And she just sits there content for a while.
Beautiful. That's awesome. I think, how does PimPam reach out to Aurora?
That's not a question. She's going to like offer her hand, let's come into a dance, and it's just going to be a look of excitement and anticipation. It's very forward looking, just like one more. With that, taking her hand and pulling her with a spin and a bit of a twirl into the rushing through the passage.
Nice. I like the idea. I think I'm getting this feeling that it's the stream, and PimPam is reaching out and pulling everyone back in. So that's really cool. I think with that, actually, it gives this feeling, this is kind of just extra fun, we see Mari and the young girl that you guys had rescued. She's now older. It's been a few years, I think like 2 at this point, or just shy. So the young girl's like 11, 12 maybe, and she's with Mari, and they're running and flitting in and out of being able to see as they do their shade teleporting. And you can tell that they've been training nonstop, and they are making their way through the streets of Avisen, flitting in and out. And this is where PimPam can get a sense of, you see that they are now a part of that underground movement. It's struggling, you can feel it, but because of what was started, you know that they have the foundation to work from. But it's dark, and they feel alone and separated from everybody else right now. But now Mari and the other girl have shown up, and they're a part of the underground movement there. And then as they're flitting and dancing through the streets in this teleportation magic,
Wow, that's very effective magic.
yes,
Almost palpable.
it bounces over to the memorial of Saint Arkiro in Avisen. That tree, this massive tree bursting out of the mountain to reach up I probably wrote it better, so I should read it. 𝒔𝒖𝒑𝒆𝒄𝒂 tree stands tall and full of rich green leaves, reaching out through the mountain to praise the sun. Twinkling in its boughs like glowing fruit are dozens of fire bats, forever lighting the tree in a gentle, warm glow. The gently poised form of Minnie is forever captured in the mighty trunk, and roots, like strong arms, reach out across to the memorial of Saint Arkyro, his strong visage forever captured in bark, leaf, and flower. But at the edge of the fire bat glow, dark, angry growths of fungus are growing toward the tree on all sides, as if fighting against the light of the tree. And we come to Quinn's moment.
I mean, Quinn's first glimpse of home is that space. Is that space where he was hatched, where he was born from. The first moments of his life were born in battle, in warfare, death around him, and then literal death, the sacrifice of Arkyro. Seeing 𝒔𝒖𝒑𝒆𝒄𝒂's tree there. Understanding, I think, just that glimpse of from death comes new life. And so understanding that we're not always truly gone, and really truly believing that. Knowing, and I think that brings him such a spirit of hope in that sense, in a such a dark place. And that's even brought to light even more with the fire bats, the 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒂 brilliance and her offspring there, and the memorial of Arkyro, knowing what came of that, and 𝒔𝒖𝒑𝒆𝒄𝒂 and within her death, the tree, and seeing the fungus and seeing the growth and seeing that attack, knowing, truly believing that the light and the goodness and the life that is coming from this is going to overcome anything that's trying to attack it. And making a promise in his heart to be able to uphold life with everything that he can. It is being able to make that light brighter and have that darkness be repelled, right? It's not even just winning, it's repelling it. And he makes that promise to do that in all of his being, to heal a broken world. And that's what he's going to do. Being able to move beyond that, he instantly thinks of his home, his ultimate home is being with his mom, in that field of flowers and peace and nature that was there when he did his time skip. His mom brought him to this place of just serenity, pure serenity, and he grew up there, literally being, from where he was as a child, and he aged many years, but even within that aging, physical body aging, he was able to witness the years and centuries of the Arkyros and be able to witness them and be alongside them every step of the way, and see and be together with his brother from the very beginning, from the very first one all the way into the Arkyro that was a part of this party. And he got to be and witness and truly become a brother at that, and in that space, and truly become a son in that space. And I think after his promise, after his seeing the 𝒔𝒖𝒑𝒆𝒄𝒂 tree and the memorial for Arkyro, he instantly wants to go right to his mom and be there in that presence and feel the peace and feel that, knowing he also has to grow up a little bit more. in his current state, he is not able to protect in the way that the world needs him to be, and so he needs to be more than what he is, and he knows he needs his mom's help with that. He is also very exhausted. He is. This is very internalized. As much as he can grasp onto images, as much as he can grasp onto thoughts and ideas, he too, very much like Aurora, is very near death in his own right. From the last battle, he is emotionally fatigued, on top of his actual physical fatigue, having to fight a remnant of his father, having to feel all of that. And also understand that there's much loss to come. And he needs to get home. He needs to get home to be able to deal with that loss and to deal with that and to be with his mom, as hoping his mom could be there to be with him in that. Nice.
And I'll add, for seeing how PimPam connects with Quinn, is that you feel that field that's heading towards the sun is where everyone needs to go for a moment. That's the safe place to go now, to bring everyone together.
Towards that light that Quinn is fixing on.
Yep.
So Pim's gonna reach out with more of like a pulling you up to strengthen you, kind of get you on your feet because you look exhausted, pulling you up and like looking off at that light and just waiting for that moment of ascent from you that's where you want to go.
Yeah, it's his eyes are closed for most of it, and his eyes open in just that absolute dreariness, and you just see the slightest, it's like the head nod of his eyelids, right? It's he can't even move his head. But it's there, and it's the desire to go in all of his being. You feel it. It's tangible.
So
and that's his go.
So she'll pull up with and get a hand like on his shoulder, and giving kind of a lift and kind of a push, jump off into that direction.
I'm gonna tweak it slightly because this leads in perfectly. As you two are connected there, Iliad steps up, taking PimPam's other hand, and then Aurora, you step up, taking Quinn's other hand. So the four of you are together, stepping into that light, and you can feel relief coming and warmth and stillness as you walk into this light. And it's almost like you can feel like there's a flower opening for more light, but the flower is also these arms reaching out to embrace you and pull you in. And as you're stepping forward, there's a beat of the heart, and PimPam, you feel Brick is still behind. He's still caught in the heart itself. And there's one more image before we go to Brick of 𝒂𝒑𝒄𝒂. He's down in the secret room you guys were staying in the Greenwood Estate, and he's meditating with his staff across his knees, the pole that was once Arcuro's spear, and sitting and looking sitting with his eyes closed, and he opens his eyes suddenly and looks up, and then the image flits to him still in his robes, wielding his spear on a field of battle that is just, it is dusty and dark clouds over it. There's no life on the field like plant life. It is just dust and rock, and there are dead bodies everywhere and strange monsters, and he's fighting through, and that same look, he looks up at the sky with... It's like that movie in the films where all of a sudden all the battle is continuing around and 𝒂𝒑𝒄𝒂 is just standing there and he's looking up in awe at the sky. And then we go to Brick's moment. And I should add, mechanically, this is the new part of the new flaw Brick has, as he's now touched death twice between B and the White Dragon.
Yeah, Brick gets the feeling of just floating and everything fading away. And it's like his nightmare starts manifesting around him of just eternal blackness everywhere. Floating in the void, alone, forever. Forever conscious and aware in emptiness.
No closer, Mike.
Sorry.
I didn't want to interrupt, but carry on.
I felt that.
Thank you. That was for all of you. He's so tired. Everybody's so tired. He feels alone on so many levels. He's alone, having just lost the last connection to what he would have called home. The last person from his true history. And he's trying to hold on to the hope that he in essence promised B he would have at her grave. But he just falters and feels like he doesn't. He has no idea what to do, and he's just floating. And as he's floating and fading, he feels so close to death, and his right artificial lung starts to hurt. And he feels like he can't breathe. And he feels like he's fading.
I think as you're fading too, you're not sure if you're hearing a conversation. You know that it's grandfather speaking to you, but it's almost like he's not. You're hearing grandfather talking to you in a different moment, in a different place. You just hear him say, "Is there a God whom you pray to before we go? Perhaps one from your realm." And then things kind of fade, and the last thing you hear, "We could pray together." There's another beat of that heart, and I think with the beating of the heart, you feel something touching the very core of you. And Ajax suddenly goes, "Commander, do you hear that? The stars are singing." And then I think we have the memory. Dang it. We get a brick memory. I am so sorry, guys. That's the wrong one. Later.
Naughty.
Naughty.
I'm leaving.
I'm going to delete that in the edit, so you guys have no idea. Here we go.
Never happened.
Inception.
Gonna roll against that.
This is the real one. Sorry, guys. Hold on, brother. Hold on a little longer.
Yo-Yo's coming in hot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shh. Now, don't try to talk. Just breathe. It's my fault. It's all my fault. What? No. Just stay with me. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, look, here they come. Look. Come on.
You're the CEO?
No.
Fast. Okay, medical's on board Yo-Yo 3. Get in and strap. We have no cover, and everybody knows we're here.
Okay.
Where's the rest of your team?
KIA. In there.
Understood. Cameron, Noah, move into the wreckage and retrieve any remains. We are leaving! Medic, on me! We have wounded!
What do we got?
Pod crush. All I know.
Is he alert?
No.
How's his breathing?
Bad.
Looks like a punctured chest cavity. Might be down a lung.
What can you do?
Nothing till we leave Atmo. Move! Get him inside! Close it up! Buckle him in!
He can't even stand!
Use the gurney strap! Okay, now you, strap in!
I gotta hold on to him! He's barely conscious!
You won't be holding on to anything if you aren't strapped in when this thing pops!
Bust!
Confirm spinal alignment.
Okay.
Engage abdomen.
Egress in 3, 2, 1.
Inhale.
Pop in! Yo-Yo third to sling, 30 seconds to orbit, requesting priority latch. Control the medical transfer. Copy?
Copy Yo-Yo 3. Sling and rotator egress. Trauma team on standby.
Hey! Stay with me! Stay with me! Stay with me! Hey! Stay with me! Hey! No! Stay with me! Hey! I just want... Please! I want to go home. Help him!
I can't do jack till orbit.
He's passing out! We gotta stop the bleed!
I am not performing surgery in the middle of an egressing yo-yo!
Fast! Just hold on, brother! Stay with me!
Almost clear! Ammo cleared!
Look at me, brother! Hey, come on! Look at me!
Non-responsive.
Come on!
Here, press here. Got him on the cavity.
You're not done yet! Not yet!
Secure that.
Don't you go down on me, brother! Eyes up! Eyes up! Come on!
Pulse flatlining. We're losing him.
No, come on! Breathe!
No choice now. Adrenal defib. Hold his arms down.
Come on!
Clear.
It's okay!
Pulse is back. Stable for now.
You're good! I got you! It's okay! We're going home, brother. We're going home.
To end, how does... I'll leave it to you guys on how PimPam reaches back.
Brick's just floating there, and remembering from that memory, he remembers the betrayal and the failure, everything becoming a disaster from the very right after the very first memory that he got of Sasha and the betrayal. Seeing everything fall apart and feeling like it's his fault for not seeing who the bad guy was. So he's just floating there, feeling absolutely hopeless and overwhelmed. His chest hurts, and he doesn't know what to do, and he just wants to go home.
I think if Aurora saw Brick wasn't coming with us, it's like a little bit of a panicky, we gotta get him, and make eye contact with Pim.
Yeah. We're all going for him. And with that, we're also holding hands. So Pam's gonna like focus in and just pull everyone over to kind of I guess like ringing Brick and seeing him, lying there. PimPam's going to kind of flip the jacket back into the uniform that she remembers from the glass. And knowing, though, that it may be a bit rough, is going to more or less march up to Brick, crouch down, like, just a hair, look him in the face and be like, the fight's still going on. We still need you. There will be rest at some point when we're through this. But you're a part of this team. We need your experience. We need your insight. We need whatever you have from wherever you are to help us win. But we need you.
Brick is like staring off into space, like not actually, like as if he doesn't even know that anyone's here, and he's not going to be breathing at all. But he's going to reach out his arm and grab Pim's forearm. And then I think it's like after, when he gets out of this, it's like the gasp from...
Same gasp.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Like his artificial lung starts working again. And he snaps back.
You guys, I think all then, as you feel, PimPam, you feel Brick coming with you. All of you are kind of grabbing him at the same time, and you all pull in, stumbling in to the field of Vidalia, where the sun is always shining in the sky. A gentle wind is blowing. And before you stands Idalia, her face now half scarred, as if fire has burned away a forest, and that is what her face and this side of her sort of looks like, this burned and charred land, freshly destroyed by forest fire. Marosha is there as well, with shadow whiffs coming off where her left arm once was. The Phoenix stands there now, just fire burning and glowing off of him as he stands in his half-bird, half-human form. And the Clockmaker is sitting on the ground, resting on his hammer, exhausted. And this has been another fantastical episode of Bomb Squad and Avenue Studios production. Do give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to follow the adventure. You can further support us and become a part of the ever-growing force known as Avenue Studios by joining our locals or Patreon community. Doing so not only helps us continue to create high-quality content, but you'll also gain access to bonus content, as well as our private Discord. And by this point, we'll have announced our West March Kingmaker campaign in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, fully integrated with Foundry Virtual Tabletop. So if you are our supporter, you will become a part of that campaign. Check out the shorts video that'll come out on that. It hasn't come out when we're recording this, but that's how wibbly wobbly time works. So check that out, and we would love to see you there and be a part of that story, because we'll be making content out of those stories and just building a literal kingdom community together with all our supporters. So we'd love to see you there, and check out the links in the description below for the sound, music, and ambience that we use, as well as Dadbod Fitness, Adam from the Uniplanar Crossroads, all the other amazing YouTubers that we hang out with. Join us live on Rumble for AfterQuest and some other live streams coming out in the future. And thank you so much for joining the adventure. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.